connecting to the real nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. I'm JD Lopez, the host of Left Hand Right Brain. It's a free-flowing, wide-ranging conversation that I have with artists doing interesting and creative things here in Denver and beyond. We talk about their personal stories, break down their creative process, and what motivates them. Spoiler alert, it's mostly spite. We talk about all these things and more while kicking back, cracking wise, and always having a good time. You can find old episodes and everything you need to know at lefthandrightbrainpod.com.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast of Denver Comic Con 2018 and beyond. I am Ryan. With me is
Zach
and
Brad.
And just another three. I don't know how well you guys did last week because the episode is not posted yet.
Yeah, there's a good reason for that.
Yeah.
I sent off that hard drive to get recovered with all of our show files.
Oh.
And I was hoping it was going to come back before the weekend, and it's... No. Nothing's...
So under repair.
Yep.
Under construction.
I just didn't want to make another episode without our proper interstitials and Denver Podcast Network stuff, so...
Oh, cool.
But if they come back and say, like, hey, all your files are gone, then we got to record a bunch of new shit next week, and then...
All right.
We'll probably be 2 weeks... I want to get it done before Star Wars comes out, because obviously we want to have that ready to go.
Right.
Technical difficulties of the digital age.
It sucks. Back up your stuff. Don't get cocky and think that a new drive is going to work. Also, don't unplug it without safely disconnecting it first.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I had that problem with my work computer. It's pissing me off, so I unhooked it from the console, and then I had to get it repaired.
Yeah, it
It won't let me get back into it.
Yeah. A lot of times I'll say, hey, safely eject, and then it'll say, hey, it's in use from some other program that you're not actually using right now. And then I have to basically just turn off the entire computer to get it to come out. Yeah, stupid.
See, if you got an Apple like Zach here, it probably runs perfectly fine.
It's got its own issues. You're right, but...
The weird part is you can actually throw that drive in the trash can, and that'll eject it, which is, weird on Macs.
That is weird.
Like, hey, throw out your files. Am I throwing it out or am I ejecting it? I don't know. Let's see.
Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week we saw... Which one did we see? Oh, The Disaster Artist. I saw two yesterday. I hardly ever see two movies, but I missed time getting down here. Sometimes it sucks living up there. And I got here 10 minutes after the scheduled time. I'm like, well, it's an independent movie. Is there not going to be as many previews? Which there was, but you never know. And so I was like, whatever, I'll just see Shape of Water.
We're seeing that in 2 weeks, right? Officially?
I don't know. Are we?
I saw it this morning, but I can hold off talking about it if we want to make it.
I thought that was the plan.
I thought so too. I wanted to catch it before I came out of commission.
Was that the plan? There's something else coming out though. I don't know.
Jumanji.
Oh, Jumanji's getting good reviews.
Well, that's the week after Star Wars. But I mean, the week before New Year's. I think that was the plan. Was to see Shape of Water.
Unless you want to review The Greatest Showman.
Oh yeah, I was a Greatest Showman.
I did until I saw that trailer.
I'll still see it. That comes out on Christmas. I'm sure there's something we can see.
There'll be something.
I had that Wikipedia page up. I was reading about it this morning. What we were talking about.
And?
And I was just on my phone. I was like, oh yeah, I was reading about that to see what people said. I don't know. Does anyone else see the downsizing and you're like, meh?
I mean, I'm Christoph Waltz. I'm tied to him by bond and nature, man. I've got to see him.
And pitches, we have Pitch Perfect 3 as well.
I guess that's true. I haven't seen the first two, so
we'll be able to see movies unless you want to make it Shape of Water.
I just thought that I would have, if I had known it was going to be this officially this week, I would have tried harder to see it. But
no, just The Disaster Artist is.
I think James probably wants to talk about it too.
The Shape of Water.
Yeah.
He will definitely want to talk about The Shape of Water.
Well, fine. I don't want to fucking talk about it this week, anyways.
You and I can talk about it without spoiling it. I think.
I guess I'll leave.
Maybe.
So it's
Until I
pretty
edit the
you
episode.
could-
I don't know. It does take. Just know. We'll talk about it when
Yeah.
we decide out. And so this is really boring podcasting. When we figure out what the fuck we're doing, then we'll talk about Shape of Water.
Yeah.
The Shape of Water.
Cool.
Not the shape of the water. The Shape of Water.
Yes. No more additional thes.
There's no more
Words.
additional these. Not like War of the Planet of the Apes.
War for
Or the Lord of the Rings, the Fellowship of the Ring.
Or the Lord of the Rings, the Return of the King. Or the Lord of the Rings, the Two Towers.
the battle of
We
the
should make a
Five
real. There's a
Armies.
movie called the.
I like your idea.
starring stuttering Shia LaBeouf.
So what are we gonna do for this show? Actually,
We're doing the Disaster Artist. Didn't I say that?
no. I mean, like, what's the next segment?
Oh, we also talk about movies we've been seeing, movies that are coming out on Blu-ray, and movie news.
So I unspool it.
Yeah.
Holy shit! A lot of trailers this week.
I know, right?
Yeah, as
No one else loves Super Mario Odyssey. Oh my gosh. Just kidding. Go ahead.
no, actually, I saw footage of that game that makes me really want to get a Switch
You should.
now.
I think that's a Switch
I haven't
seller.
want to play a Mario game in so fucking long.
Where like Legend of Zelda is amazing. I think,
I was gonna say if Legend of Zelda didn't convince you to get a Switch, then you're a fucking idiot.
but I think,
But I'm not
I
a
think
big
that
Zelda
I
fan,
think
so-
Mario is more of a gateway for everybody else.
Sure, I mean gameplay wise, but
Yeah.
as far
And
as like
keep in mind, I'm
the
not-
beautiful work of art, then
I know, but keep in mind, I'm not the biggest gamer in the world, so like
I know you're probably garbage at it.
my tastes are fickle. And yes, I am pretty garbage at it. Unless it's like Tony Hawk Underground, in which case I can
Nice.
hold my own.
bet you can't even play Pong.
Probably not.
You know what?
Anyways,
man, it's
what's
not my
going
fault.
on in
I'm
movie
not-
news?
I can't handle a racket.
It's real news.
Yeah, as Brad indicated, we got a lot of trailers this week. Too many to probably play even one of them, but we got a new Ready Player One trailer, which
fun.
I'm now more aware of the premise, so I'm actually pretty excited to see what.
You know,
how
I
it plays
saw
out.
a movie. I'm sorry, a trailer for The Post. It was the first one. I didn't see it online, and so this reminds me a lot of when Spielberg made Jurassic Park and Schindler's List, where he made this like really serious movie that's getting a lot of accolades right now, and then he kind of has the fun sci-fi one coming up. I don't know, it looks fun.
Yeah.
I mean, Chucky's in the trailer, and I saw Freddy Krueger once,
Yeah,
and the DeLorean. Whatever, I'll see it.
that's CGI though.
I just have time to work it out.
Hope so.
I think it's to
It
me it
come out
looks like
until
it's
May, right?
March, but
Wow.
I think it looks better with each trailer I see, and even then, like it is a virtual reality world,
Yeah,
so my
maybe
mind's
it's on
Yeah.
purpose.
my mind's kind of separating
That's what
that
I figured. Yeah.
out. We also got Attila Battle Angel trailer
Alita.
from
Alita.
Alita Battle Angel. Sorry, Attila.
The eyes really bother me.
Is that I'm not familiar with the manga, so is that what it's supposed to look like, or
Yeah, they definitely tried to make her exactly like the main character. Mm-hmm. It's weird when I watched on my phone. I thought like everybody was a CGI character, even like Christoph Waltz and stuff. But then I watched it on a desktop and like their live action with CGI enhancements. But
We'll see.
yeah, she mostly looks like the character.
Did you watch it? Have you ever watched the anime?
Oh yeah,
I've never seen it, so I don't.
yeah. It's interesting. Like this.
I know James Cameron has been trying to get it made forever.
Yeah, I just think it's weird that with everyone else being live action, that they made the main character entirely CG. Just
Who's the director? I can't remember.
Robert Rodriguez.
Rodriguez.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
And there's actually
Yeah.
moments in the trailer that remind me of Rodriguez, so I don't think he's beholden just to Cameron's.
No, he shouldn't. I mean, he has a big enough established career that I think he can.
I think Cameron's just on it because he like as a producer like owns the rights to
Yeah,
be able to make it, but he
exactly.
can't make it. But they're also using his CGI studio. So
Yeah, and they use his name totally. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, James Cameron. I haven't made a movie since Avatar.
But I'm still holding out hope for Avatar 2.
Did it start production?
Avatar?
2?
I mean,
No.
he's been fiddling with it for probably since 2009.
Well, I can tell you right now, if Disney buys Fox, that motherfucker's going to get made fast.
Oh gosh, that would have been a great segue if we didn't have one more trailer to talk about, which is Jurassic World. Jurassic World: Fallen Kingdom. Sorry.
No, it looks like dinosaur fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of one scene.
Yeah, it looks like they're trying not to reveal too much of it.
That movie, like life, will find a way. So to make it a bunch of money again.
Yeah, I mean, and I like the director they picked to make it.
What did he do prior?
He made Attack on
Attack the Block?
Attack the Block.
Oh shit!
Did he?
Yeah, isn't that J.A.?
No, that's Joe Cornish.
Yeah.
Sure? Oh, what am I thinking of then? I'm
J.A. Bayona?
Yeah.
J.A. Bayona. I mean, the name looked.
I know he did something that I really liked. Go ahead, keep talking.
Yeah, it looked fun. I mean, like I'm not the
Oh,
biggest...
he made The Impossible. I love that movie.
Oh, there you go.
And A Monster Calls, which I didn't see.
Oh, that's what, yeah.
But yeah, Jurassic World was like, it was fun, but I could have, like, if they hadn't made anything after that, I would have been fine. I do like Jeff Goldblum, so of course I'm going to go.
Yeah.
It's Jurassic Park. Of course I'll
I mean,
watch
it'll
it.
be fun. I still think I think Jurassic World is fun. It gets a
is.
lot of flack for the CG, but I think the CG looks pretty good most of the time. And I mean, even on this one, if you watch the little EPK they put out before the trailer, they made a really big emphasis on, these dinosaurs are animatronic. Most of them are animatronic, and they wanted to make that like a big selling point.
Yeah. But anyway, so those are the trailers, though. But speaking of,
Nope. You're missing some.
You are.
how many? I've got Alita, Ready Player One.
Uh,
No, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, which it looks fun. I mean, they're definitely taking the ultimate Spider-Man route, obviously because Miles Morales is in it. I've said this before. I like Miles as a character, but I feel like they're trying to force feed me that he's as cool as Peter Parker, and I just can't get there.
Well, I guess this one's going to have more than Miles Morales. Like,
Yeah, well, obviously I think they're exploiting like if you read the Spider-Verse comic series, it's basic, and I think Pete actually makes an appearance in like the little at the end, like Miles is talking to another Spider-Man. I think that's Pete. But Spider-Verse is there's different universes, a lot like Crisis on Infinite Earths, and each universe has a Spider-Man, whether it's Spider-Gwen or like punk rock Spider-Man or Spider-Ham, the Peter Porker. So that'd be awesome if he shows up. So they're all connected in this web. And
yeah.
yeah, right. And their job is to maintain order. And then there's these guys called the Inheritors, and they're trying to get the power from the web by disrupting and killing Spider-Man. It's a lot like the one with Jet Li,
Yeah.
where they kill one Spider-Man and they get more powerful.
Or the Highlander.
Or the Highlander, yeah. But yeah, it's fun. And I don't know.
Animation looks really cool.
Yeah, it's a different kind of animation.
I like the mixture of kind of like when if he hits up against something, it kind of goes into a comic book mode, but then
Yeah.
quickly switch back. Yeah.
I mean, they're trying something new, and I mean, obviously, I'll see it, and I'm hoping it's fun. Again, trying to force feed me that Miles Morales is cool is kind of irritating for a Spider-Man fan, and I get it. I mean, he's a fine character. I have nothing against the character. He has his own strong points, but again, it feels like, well, it sounds really bad. It's like they try to diversify Spider-Man by getting away from the white guy, and so then they made a half Hispanic, half black Spider-Man, which is fine. And the interesting thing about him is his uncle is the bad guy, the Prowler, which he's in the trailer. He's the purple cape guy riding a motorcycle.
Oh, really?
And it's an interesting dynamic. Maybe it's just the comics that kind of sour me because they had this really great story before Marvel relaunched itself again a couple years ago, where Miles is fighting Venom, and Venom kills Miles's mother, and it catapults him into this adventure where he doesn't trust his dad because his dad knows, and it's really great and it's really awesome. And then they reset the universe again, and his mom's back. I'm like, just cheapens her death, and maybe that's why I just don't get as excited about Miles Morales as I think Sony and Marvel want me to be. But again, it's a fun character. I think his costume's cool. If they focus on the Prowler stuff and then maybe kind of his team up with the other teenage superheroes, I think would be fine. But that's just an old fucking Spider-Man fan, like, you're changing my Spider-Man.
See, whereas I'm looking at it as like the casual Spidey fan, and this looks fun. Like, I'll go see it.
And Donald Glover's playing him, so I mean,
There you go.
I'm sold. And again, I don't care if Peter Parker's black or white or Asian or Hispanic. I don't care who he is. It's just the character is what matters to me.
There's a side note, like Nerdist put up a thing about like, now that Ben Affleck's not going to be Batman anymore, who do you want to play Batman? And I just flat out typed out Donald Glover.
Nice.
And then like when
Is
I
he
got,
really not going to be Batman though?
I don't know. Like that's not even part of our news cycle.
I mean, it's up to Warner Brothers at this point.
yeah,
Well,
They saying that sounds like they're going to reset everything.
yeah.
now, did you see their news they put out today?
No,
No, they're not. They're like, so they have Aquaman, then Wonder Woman 2, then Flashpoint, then the Batman, then Suicide Squad 2. So they're not really like resetting anything, which I don't think they have to. Don't cave into the pressure of a few loud people on the internet.
yeah,
Keep your vision, because people can say whatever they want about Justice League, and I'm not saying it's one of the best superhero movies. It's not a bad movie. Batman Superman is not a bad movie. Stay the course. I still think Ben Affleck deserves a solo Batman movie. I think I think he's awesome. I don't. You can, and because a lot of people on the internet go with these things. If I was Warner Bros., like, no, keep him as Batman, and if they want to transition to a younger Batman, I think that would be a cool story, where he gets. I mean, they already kind of played it in The Dark Knight Rises, where you have Robin show up. You can do the same thing.
yeah.
You don't have to get rid of Affleck, and Affleck's the least of your problems.
Yeah.
The problems
He's
with
not even a problem, period.
The DCU is some of their ideas aren't totally fleshed out.
Yeah, I think the biggest problem is they don't have writers that have interesting ideas for stories.
Exactly. Where you can, I think the idea of, I think Superman coming back in Justice League is awesome. I like Superman. I think
he has really good
Henry
Superman
Cavill,
moments.
right?
Henry Cavill?
Cavill, there we go. I think he's good as Superman. When he's back to being happy Superman. Just he deserves another movie too.
Yeah.
Get them out of this team up stuff. Why is it one of the best movies of the year? Is because it was a focus on her.
Yeah, there's like one mention of Bruce Wayne and it's ancillary.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. The only thing that connects it is the freaking photo from Batman Superman.
Yeah, and even then, if you didn't know about Batman v Superman, it's not going to confuse you.
Exactly, but what makes Wonder Woman a great movie is her journey. And because she's the sole focus of it, they're not focusing on other stuff. You do a Flash movie, I'm down. I thought Flash was fun. And I never liked the Flash. I think he's kind of a lame character, but you make him appealing, and a kid who has troubles and just wants to be accepted, I think is cool.
And I have to watch the film again. I know I'm not one of its fans for Justice League, but I'm not opposed to watching it again.
No,
It's just that while watching it, I had problems with it, and I didn't need to look at the internet.
I think Brad said it the best. I think he said, "Quit listening to the fans and just make your movie."
Exactly,
Because you've already committed so much to it, and we live in a day and age where Justice League has made almost $700 million, and they go, "Ooh, is that good enough?" How much money do you fucking need?
Well, they did spend $300 million, plus we don't know how much in marketing.
Okay, so now you're made $200 million in profit right now.
Right, but you also have $200 million in marketing.
So $500 million, and you're at $700 million, or $200 million plus.
And I see it from our perspective.
Without
Warner
Blu-ray
Brothers
sales.
isn't seeing it that way.
And they got to stop looking at huge box office numbers as being their only beacon of success.
I agree.
Because the problem is you can't compete with Marvel right now. Marvel's universe is too established.
They did their homework.
They did their homework, and then they're starting to let people make movies they want to make. Thor started out as a Shakespeare tragedy, and the second one, the villain is whatever.
Did you hear they might have only let Taika Waititi do what he wanted to do because they're going to kill Thor in the Avengers anyway?
Yeah, that's fine. And I think
No, I did not hear this.
and that's fine. And I think if you want to push these characters, you got to challenge them. And Hemsworth said it. What makes Thor Thor? Yeah, he's all powerful and he's fun in the movies, but you got to take him and put him in situations that you don't expect him to be in. Getting his hair cut, being funny, losing his hammer, getting his eye ripped out. You need all that stuff, and Marvel's at a point where they can do that. DC they need to earn that right. And there's nothing. And Wonder Woman has earned the right to be one of the best superheroes. Her movie is awesome. She's awesome in Justice League, and Ben Affleck deserves to have a Batman movie.
Another thing someone brought up, and Bruce Wayne should have called her out on it. So after World War I, you just went into hiding and just let World War II happen.
He kind of did.
That's why I asked. That's like asking why did the wizards in the Harry Potter world not help defeat Hitler?
No. He kind
Or
of
use
did.
the birds just go straight to the volcano.
I remember his burn where he said something about her boyfriend and like just went away. My audience was like, ooh, like gasped because it was pretty pointed. And you need stuff like that. You know, there's great moments like that. And so if I was DC, they announced a slate of movies at like some Brazil Comic Con. Just keep doing it. Just keep doing it.
At some point, like the audience will get, like maybe the vision is too radical that it's like off-putting. But if you stay the course, and maybe people over time will finally like ease into it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and you can't keep comparing them to Marvel. They're too
like
different.
you can change the audience if you just stay the course.
Exactly. And I can honestly say I don't think people expected Wonder Woman to be as good as it was. I mean, it's in the AFI's top 10 films of the year. Mm-hmm. It deserves to be. It deserves to be. That movie is so well made, and she's amazing in it. It deserves all the accolades it gets. It does. And so stay the course. Start focusing on single characters. And I do think that those DCU movies on repeated viewings get better. There's lots of stuff crammed in them, but when I saw Suicide Squad the first time, I'm like, that's all right. But then I watched it at subsequent times, like, this is actually pretty fun.
Yeah, and people keep bringing up like things like I didn't really piece together that like are set up in Man of Steel that pay off in Justice League, that would pay off more if Snyder had been able to stick around for it.
Yeah, and
did you hear the alternate?
Yeah, the alternate
Batman. The like Darkseid was supposed to be in the movie, and that like Kevin Smith and Mark Bernardin read this other guy's transcript of what was in the movie before they made all the cuts, and just like it's like, oh man, I want to see that movie.
So the cuts in Justice League feels like they're trying to get it under 2 hours. They're trying to maximize as many showings they can get, because again, people complain and they shouldn't listen to them. Batman Superman should be 3 hours long. If it tells a story, and I said this, people were complaining about what superhero movie was like 90 minutes or something. Whatever. There's like, is that enough time to tell? If it's enough time to tell a story, then that's all you need. If you need more time, let them do it. And they should have let them do it. Warner Brothers shouldn't sit there and cry when Zack Snyder's making them billions of dollars. Billions. They should focus on the other movies of theirs that tank. And I mean, I liked The House, but it made $20 million. They spent $75 million on a comedy. And so a movie that made $200 million, he's trying to make up for all the other movies that tanked.
And Warner Brothers didn't have a bad year either, because they had like Lego Batman,
Exactly.
It.
Warner Brothers is fine.
Them and
Annabelle
Buena
Creation,
Vista.
technically, they have.
Annabelle Creation.
Them and Buena Vista, like they're killing it.
Yeah, so
Sony's the one that's like
Sony.
Yeah,
oh,
Sony's.
God. If they didn't have Spider-Man, they'd be screwed.
I think it's their second best is Emoji Movie, and then the third one's.
So that's my advice. So that's my long-winded. Just make your movies. Quit listening to loud people on the internet. They don't know what they're talking about. And I get that it gets to Ben Affleck because he's not really. He's fine. He's doing a good job, but he made good Hollywood movie. He does. He not a villain. He hero. Okay.
Well, Ben Affleck had private bathroom, but director only.
So what's next on news? Sorry.
So you literally sped through every single piece of DC news I had pulled up. So
All right.
Is Disney buying Fox? How about that one?
Yeah. So they're not like I didn't even know if we want to bring it up because like they're in the like final stages, quote unquote, like the pen.
You know what my dream is? So everyone's like an Avengers X-Men team up. I really don't want that. What I want is the Avengers to fight Doctor Doom. That's all I want. I want Doctor Doom to be awesome because he's such a great villain, and the movies don't really do him justice. I mean, he's flying on a fucking surfboard in one of them. Make Doctor Doom cool. That's all I want. That's all I want in my life. I don't think that's too much to ask for.
Hello, I'm Ryan, and I have terminal cancer.
And I mean, and Disney's only really getting their movie stuff.
So
So
it's not. It's well, they're acquiring everything but the news and sports divisions of Fox because they're trying to move towards news and sports.
and soon Disney will just own all of Hollywood.
Well, and actually, Steve posted a Birth Movies Death article about how that's both. There's positives and negatives to that situation. The antitrust laws are going to flare up if they're not careful.
I don't think so because the problem is they're still producing the movies under different banners. So you can still produce them.
And that's
where they're getting off on.
And I think they can too because of. I agree with you on that.
And I mean, like the antitrust come up, but I mean, how many cell phone carriers are there now? 3.
It's
so
that, and also like when you look at Warner Brothers, they don't just have Warner Brothers. They have HBO. They have New Line Cinema. They've got a bunch of different companies. It's like when I read the articles about like how the antitrust laws are going to flare up, like that is possible, but
sure.
And like the only way it's going to really flare up is if like if they conglomerate everything up to Universal Pictures. Like there are going to be signs up, but I don't think they'd be able to get them on anything.
And people worried about them Disney-fying stuff. They won't. I mean,
I could care less about that. Disney does fine.
You look at whether it's Marvel movies, whatever it is. Disney wants to acquire assets. Mm-hmm. They've always been like that. They want the characters.
Yeah.
They don't have a desire to, mess with, I don't know, Cameron or whatever. They're just going to tell him, you need to make these movies. We put a $2 billion Avatar world in Disney.
Why did we do that? I don't know. We were fucking high. Anyway, go do it.
Yeah, you either do it or we're going to get somebody to do it for us. Look at Star Wars. George Lucas sells it to us, and we'll make these movies. Everyone's like, "Oh, we're worried about what Star Wars." They shouldn't be, because I've been reading online that The Last Jedi might be the best Star Wars movie.
And guys, I have some news. Disney just hired me to direct Avatar 2. So
all right, it'd be a better job than Cameron. And you're not as big of an asshole, I don't think.
Anyway,
I'm down with it. I don't.
Yeah. We're gonna do the sad part of the news, like a quick Band-Aid right off. Bryan Singer responded to his firing from Bohemian Rhapsody. That said,
I didn't know he was such a big asshole. Did you?
The studio apparently didn't let him go home to be with his family. Which, okay, that's
allegedly
fine. That's fine. That's whatever. Okay, we just put this behind us. But days after, accused of sexual assault and facing litigation charges, civil suit charges.
Well, did you read the Hollywood Reporter story about it?
I didn't read the full thing. No.
So if you're going to do the news, make sure you're informed.
I read
Fox News.
I read the out. I read the.
So
I am so much like what's his name, Sean Hannity.
Yeah. So he was actually on a short leash with them because I guess he was doing it during Apocalypse.
And also Superman Returns, apparently, for Warner Brothers, but Fox didn't have it. Anyway,
yeah, he has a reputation of not showing up to work, getting in fights with talent. And it's like, and it's weird because I always thought he was cool when you watch a Superman Returns making of, like, oh, he's really cool. He has this idea, but then you read all this stuff, he's a fucking asshole. Mm-hmm. So he just left because he got in a fight, and then I hope he didn't make up the story about his parents being gravely ill. Mm-hmm. Just to save face.
That'd be dickish.
But it's shocking to me, and all these allegations with Harvey Weinstein and things like that. It's horrible. But when is someone going to stop letting Roman Polanski make movies? Mm-hmm. When are you going to stop giving that motherfucker awards?
Actually,
that dude's been convicted of raping a 13-year-old girl.
No, I agree with you. It's funny you should bring that up because Dylan Farrow, Ronan Farrow's sister. Yeah. Flat out said, why is Woody Allen getting a pass?
Exactly, and all these actors that are on their moral high horse about, yeah, maybe you should shut the fuck up and quit being in that asshole's movie and Roman Polanski's movie. Every time I read something about Roman Polanski, it makes me gag. Mm. I just read something about how he traded Faye Dunaway on Chinatown. Mm. Fuck that guy. Fuck him. Fuck him.
Yeah.
And so it's really hypocritical.
It's a tough situation for everyone, and
no, it's not. Cut that motherfucker off of the Academy. Quit giving him money to make movies.
No, I meant
both of them.
Outside of the asshole involved. You know what I mean.
Yeah, it just because you can sit there and condemn Kevin Spacey, and you can sit there and do whatever with Weinstein. Yeah, they're assholes, and yeah, they got everything they deserved. I'm not saying that, but quit supporting those other guys.
I think
it's bullshit.
I think based off of all of this, I think it's going to be very hard for. I don't know what's going on with Polanski, honestly. I think he's on his deathbed at this point. But
good.
But in terms of Allen, I think it's going to be hard for Amazon, given that their executive.
I know, but they should never get in bed with him.
I know, but Roy Price leaving, combined with the fact that Allen still got their deal there, I don't see how that deal keeps afloat.
Why don't they just pay him and not
the pay or play deal? Yeah,
I don't
do
the same thing to a singer. Just tell him to piss off. And that's my biggest problem right now is the hypocritical stuff going around.
I think I was listening to Little Gold Men, the podcast that Vanity Fair does, and I think that it's if you're living in LA and you're seeing the tension. Apparently, the tension around that town is fucking like palpable. You can cover it with a knife. And I don't, and I know it's easy for us to say what we say and whatnot, but I don't think over there they really know what the best course is because they're afraid of.
They don't know what the best course is. They've already made the decision for Weinstein and Spacey. So all they have to do is do the same thing for everybody asshole that does that to women and men.
I understand that, but there's like it's as they explained because I'm like you, I was thinking that too. But as they explained, like it goes so much deeper because there's like 5 or 6 different sections of this business that get affected by one thing. But I get it.
Is the business more important than some 13-year-old girl that's been anally raped by Roman Polanski?
I'm not saying that. I'm just. I know you're. I don't know if you're angry or not. I'm not sure, but like I'm just saying that like everything in that town right now is like volatile. No one's happy with anyone, and like they're trying to get into an award season that honestly is not going to be that fun this year, to be honest, because they're not going to address it at the Oscars. I know they won't.
Well, they can't.
They can. If they had the balls to do it, they could. The problem is that they want to save face and they want to put on an entertainment show for ABC. But if they had any balls, they'd set up and they'd make a statement, or they'd be willing to like call out, like, no, we're not letting this happen anymore. I don't think they're going to do it.
No.
And this is one of those years where I've lost faith in the Academy, in spite of the fact that they're like. You know, like you can honor all the good films that I think are great this year. That doesn't make up for all the shit that's gone on. The fact that you've let Weinstein get away with this for years or whatever, etc.
I'm sorry, Brad. Go ahead.
I was going to say, all them actors need to just shut up and stop getting political and just entertain the poor folks.
I'm not talking about the actors. I'm talking about the Academy of Motion Picture
Well, yeah,
Arts.
but they also gave an award to Casey Affleck. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying. Last year, when all this stuff started bubbling up, go ahead and give it to him, no matter what he does.
Again, like it's
in a movie that's not even that fucking good.
You know, it's a rough issue.
When do they get off their high horse and realize that Wonder Woman might be the best movie of the year?
Again, like
it's not going to be whatever they pick, whatever it's going to be. Shit movie.
I mean, and like this and. This whole situation doesn't help their already lacking status in a world that has Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu. You know, like that Academy has to either make some big changes or they are going to wither and die. Like it's entirely feasible at this point.
I agree. I mean, just one more example. So Louis C.K. admits that he did it. He doesn't. So he's ostracized and can't do anything. Had to buy back his own movie.
That's what I was just about
Woody Allen. Oh yeah, go make Wonder Will with Kate Winslet and Justin Timberlake. Oh, look how fun they are. Fuck that.
Oh, and
that's my moral high horse for the day.
Anyway, that gave me a headache. I tried to keep that as like
that was my pent up frustration of like a month.
I've had the same one, and that's why I got a little heated, so I apologize if I sounded like an asshole.
Nope.
Wait, no.
Sorry for cutting you off.
Oh no. Okay.
Because you know how I feel about Polanski, and it just drives me crazy.
I know, and believe me, like I made plenty of defenses for Alan, and now I can't make that anymore. Like I want to take my Radio Days DVD and set it on fire at this point. Anyway,
remember when I rewatched Rush Hour 3 and I was like, "Hey, Brett Ratner put Polanski in his movie." Nope, makes sense now.
Anyway,
remember when Polanski was in Rush Hour 3? I remember.
I'm gonna move on to some lighter news, because we only have 3 pieces of them left. No, Quentin Tarantino is rumored to be making a Star Trek movie.
I'm down.
But as Brad pointed out, there's no way that's fucking happening.
Set phasers to motherfucking death.
But part of his stipulation was it had to be rated R. I was like, "There's no way Paramount's making a rated R Star Trek movie."
Aren't they saying fuck on CBS All Access?
That's
right. But yeah, you got to be like an adult who can buy CBS All Access.
True.
Not a kid who can just walk into a theater.
I mean, that's tough because those movies appeal to younger children as well. Yeah, and mass audiences.
Yeah.
But it made $320 million.
They don't even really want to make a PG-13 Star Trek. So.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah. I'm down.
Ryan Reynolds will play Detective Pikachu in live-action Pokemon movie.
So is he Is he playing Pikachu, or is he the detective in Detective Pikachu? I don't understand.
Pikachu is the detective.
Yeah.
So Pikachu's
He
the
probably has
detective.
he might have
Is there a game based on this?
Yeah, there is. It's called Detective Pikachu.
I think it's only in Japan.
Okay.
But I think he has like a human sidekick, so that's probably what he's playing.
He has to be, because there's no way Ryan Reynolds is going to walk around and go, Pika!
Yeah. Or
If he
Pikachu's
does,
not
it'll
going to
be-
run around saying like the full sentences.
That'd be
Yeah.
awesome if Robert Downey Jr. was Pikachu and he did it in his Sherlock Holmes voice. And then they had like dudes fighting with bare knuckles. That'd be sweet.
A slap fight like in the
version
Pokemon movie.
Your version of Pokemon is Victorian and strange.
Can't be any worse in their movies.
Oh God! So only two more pieces. Actually, kind of falling in line with our movie of the week. An actor from a bad movie, an infamous bad movie, passed away 2 days ago. Conrad Brooks.
It looks like it's flipping me off. Keep on talking,
No,
Zach.
sorry. Conrad Brooks, one of the stars from Plan 9 from Outer Space, the notorious Ed Wood film, mentioned in the movie Ed Wood, passed away. He'd been all over the place, like nearly 100 genre films since 1953. Grave Robbers from Outer Space, Brain Robbers from Outer Space, apparently. There's Zombiegeddon, Puppet Master 3. You know what's funny though? It's like he's one of those guys that just like kind of popped up in and out around everywhere. So it's kind of nice that he got a proper obituary and at least like stuff like Bloody Disgusting and whatnot, you know. So. And then last week Jim Nabors died. We didn't talk about that, but that sucks because I like Gomer Pyle. And then I found one last piece of news to piss off both Ryan and myself. I don't know if you read Bloody Disgusting, Ryan, but I guess we're getting a new Friday the 13th Blu-ray collection.
Yeah, it's
And I saw a picture of it, and it looks like a piece of crap.
Well, basically,
Aw.
it's the Paramount movies that they're just bundling in like a slim Blu-ray case.
Like the same way the Saw Legacy. or
yeah,
the
but
Saw-
it comes with the special features though. But you won't get
The cool.
Jason Goes to Hell, or is Jason Goes to Hell? No, you won't
No.
get Jason Goes to Hell, Jason X, Freddy vs. Jason, or the remake.
Oh.
So it's the Paramount movies on Blu-ray with all the special features for all 8 films.
because the rights reverted back to Paramount. No, I found this funny. We were supposed to get a Friday the 13th movie earlier this
Yeah,
year.
but
But instead
I-
we're going to repackage it like more.
I mean, the package looks awful, but the only good thing is if you didn't have an opportunity to get them, it's only $30. So you get all 8 movies with tons of special features.
That's true. And when I compared it to when like I actually checked eBay today, the one you have, the nice one,
Yeah.
is selling now at a current $289 lowest on eBay.
That's why you get those movies as soon as they come out.
you know, I just if I had become a bigger Jason fan than
was
I
like-
was then.
It was like $89 like one Black Friday.
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't like the tin part. I like the
Yeah,
paper
the book
part
part's
inside.
really cool.
But they'll repackage it like they do everything. And, 6 years later,
Well, the only problem is because of
This shit.
the rights of the movies.
yeah. Well,
So it's
didn't see
New
that
Line
coming.
has most of them, and then Paramount has the other ones. But Paramount and New Line share the remake. So I don't think you can get Jason Goes to Hell or Jason X on Blu-ray, but you can still get the remake and Freddy vs. Jason. So you'll be missing 2 of them.
Yeah.
It's
I've listened to plenty of interviews with the guys who do Scream Factory Blu-rays, so I'm just saying, like, Paramount, get off your fucking.
I don't
horse.
think so.
Or
Scream.
not Paramount, Warner Brothers. It'd be Warner Brothers.
Can you imagine Scream Factory making like a Friday the 13th set?
Literally, one of
I
the
would
things they said
cry.
their dream get is to do that the way they did it with Halloween.
Yeah,
I don't see it happening either. The way
the-
Cliff said I did the same
I
thing.
know. Well, the only issue I don't know if I have to buy it again. So I have that set, and I also have Crystal Lake Memories. I don't know what else they could offer me where I'd have to upgrade. You know what I mean?
You give your originals to me, and then you'll have to upgrade.
Sure, for $289.
Yeah, okay, fine. I will.
So I don't know yet. I don't know yet.
I can't
We'll see.
win.
Like original poster art would be nice.
Yeah, that would be cool if they see if they did them like.
Lenticular, maybe some kind of.
I don't know. I guess if they made like a cool box set like that, and each release had. But what other new foot? I think I have everything. I can't even
Yeah.
think of something that
That documentary covers a lot.
Yeah, it's what 8 hours, 6 hours,
8 hours.
8 hours. So that's quite a bit for fucking low rent movies. And I mean,
Yeah.
and you top that on top of the fact that the set I have has making of on every movie.
Yeah. There's different angles that have been
And
covered.
commentaries. I guess the only way is if they could actually find like Friday the 13th Part 7 completely unedited, which I heard doesn't exist. Spiegler says it doesn't exist. So that's why if you see the deleted scenes, it's all from like videotape source. But who knows?
Anyway, that's long-winded news.
Yeah, cool. We also like to buy Blu-rays some weeks. I don't remember if anything's coming out this week.
There is.
This is stuff that's being released on Blu-ray and Ultra HD 4K.
Perfect. Get me the video cassette of Spaceballs the movie.
Have you seen this?
But there's been a new breakthrough in home video marketing. Instant cassettes. They're out in stores before the movie is finished.
Okay, this one, you have to check this out sometime. I can't even... Just promise me you'll rent it.
Sir.
What?
Are either one of these any good?
I don't watch movies.
Not much too early. Prepare to fast forward. Preparing to fast forward. Fast forward. Fast forwarding, sir.
Well, this is the last time I rent here.
You'll be missed.
Screw you!
No. Go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Manners Will Maketh Man as Kingsman: The Golden Circle will be released on Blu-ray and 4K this week. Also,
We'll not be getting that one.
Also, Game of Thrones Season 7, if you're into Game of Thrones.
I like Game of Thrones. It's fun.
I have to sit down and... I guess this week's going to be the perfect week for me to sit down and binge watch it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Good week for you.
Home Again, Reese Witherspoon's movie that I forgot existed.
Her chin is really pointy.
I know. It's I like the Family Guy gag where they try to cut open a safe with it. Catherine Bigelow's Detroit, which was really good. I totally dug it.
See that one.
It is coming out on Blu-ray, but it's also going to be coming back to theaters for Academy.
Oscar.
Yeah. Criterion's got two titles this week. Monterey Pop Festival, which is a concert film, and then also Alexander Payne's Election.
That's a great movie.
And actually,
if you listen to Film Soldier 96, it's on mine.
Yep. And Pick Flick, the cupcakes with Pick Flick on them is the cover of the Criterion version.
Oh, nice.
So it's nice. Also, some other stuff. The Trip to Spain, which is another in the series of the Trip films with Steve Coogan and his comedy partner. Getting some like Kino Lorber stuff. A John Wayne film called Legend of the Lost, and also Brannigan. And then a movie called China Moon with Ed Harris. You can get Moonlight, last year's Best Picture winner, on 4K. And then for the genre titles, we've got House and House 2 on Arrow. I thought these have been released before.
They have. They came out in a combined set called Two Stories.
Okay, so
now you can buy them separately. They sometimes do that with their releases.
And then
they did it with Hellraiser.
And then there is one more thing is you can get a Michael Dudikoff double feature of Platoon Leader and Soldier Boys.
Nice. With Z?
Yes.
Nice.
Yeah. So
nice.
If you're looking for some Michael Dudikoff in your life, which I guess I should at this point.
Yeah, everybody needs it.
Yeah. So also a Bob Hope movie called Paris Holiday, which I've never seen before, so I'll probably buy that. Anyway, that's Blu-rays.
Cool. Hey, we also go around town with a buddy I call Brad. Bradical. Hey, Brad, take us around town on your radical bike.
Hey, film buddies, follow me around Denver.
With E.T. in a basket, Brad's going around town, seeing if he needs to phone home. Brad around town. I don't know, I got nothing.
I was just holding out to see if you're going to do a song.
Nope,
Did you
didn't
say
get anything.
Bradical bike or
Yeah,
radical?
Bradical bike.
I thought you said Bradical bike.
I did say Bradical.
Oh, okay. Okay, then we're clear.
I am clever most days.
Brad's Bradical bike.
At the Esquire midnight this week is Hellboy.
Oh, fun,
the first one?
Yes.
Okay. Well, there's Golden Army.
Does it matter?
Both are great.
First one's good. Second one's pretty great.
Yeah.
And then of course they're still doing The Room. As
tearing me apart, Brad.
And then that should be it. Yes.
Oh, hi.
It is. I guess it is the winter. It kind of slows down a little bit.
Yeah. I mean,
around town.
EFP is not next Thursday.
I wasn't here last week, Brad. How was your going out to California and
the
Jean-Claude Van Damme thing?
You weren't here.
I wasn't.
Anticlimactic, since I didn't get to meet Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Lame.
But I talked to the director and creator of Van Johnson, and those guys were cool. I got them to do a little bumper for us.
Oh, nice.
So when we get shows edited again, you'll get to hear that.
All right. I was just curious.
I record 10 minutes
because it happened
of them.
so fast. I was like, wow, he's going out there.
Yeah. I tried to cram as much stuff as I could into a single day. So like I said to these guys,
Did you fly?
I flew in like got there at 9 or something. Went to the interview at 10. Sat in the press room for a little bit, and then did the interview, and then like 10 minutes later was over.
So was it like those ones you see behind the scenes where you go into a room and they're already there and you get to ask them questions for 5 minutes and they kick you out?
Yeah, pretty much.
Cool.
The round table.
Yeah.
It wasn't really a round table. Like, I imagine a round table being like they have everyone who is at the junket and then like a group of people. Like,
and have you watched the whole series now?
Yeah, because part of the stuff I got, they gave me a Blu-ray with like all the episodes on it,
Oh,
but it has
nice.
like the watermark of like not for resale.
Oh,
or
yeah,
anything
yeah.
like-
It's the press ones.
Yeah.
Nice.
And then attached to it was a box of chocolates that are like the most beautiful chocolates I've ever seen. I couldn't eat them because of it.
Nice.
They're like flecked with metallic flakes, so they look like
Gold?
bronze and gold. Yeah. And then
Odorless, tasteless gold.
Yeah, and then a bunch of Van Damme
That
Christmas
David
cards.
Cross
Yeah.
So
Nice.
I mail some of those out. I should have taken more though. Like they just had stacks of swag that.
No, I
they
get
didn't
it
care
though.
about.
You don't want to be like, "Hey, who's that motherfucker who's taking all the cards?"
Just does that look.
My Nintendo bag can only hold so much, and then I gotta get back on the plane later.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, I lamented that I had 2 opportunities to promote Jean-Claude Van Damme's Dan Van, and I blew it each time. Like when I first walked in, the creator, the first thing he said to me was like, "Hey, cool shirt," and I was so focused on just getting the interview right that I didn't say something cool.
I know.
Like,
Honestly, I was worried about you doing an interview without anybody else around.
It was
'Cause
rough.
It's not like one of your strong suits.
Yep, I screwed up the intro too.
It's all right.
Yeah, I didn't notice until I listened back to it.
I'm proud of you for going out there, and it like shocked me. I'm like, oh wow, he's really going out there. You did like a real press thing.
I did. Like, part of me was sad too because I wish things like this happened earlier in the podcast for us, so that when you and James were more had more flexible schedules, that we could do stuff like that.
Well, yeah. I mean,
because obviously you'd be better to send than me.
Well, no, I mean, you're the right person to send for that assignment.
For that one, yeah. But in general, like when we were, I wish we were getting EPKs and stuff earlier, so that like we had spent like 2 or 3
it's one of
years
those things
doing
where,
it.
because remember we had the Cartoon Network Adult Swim stuff,
Yeah.
but then they would never email us back. So I was shocked that she's like, "Here you go," and so that's really cool. We want to thank Amazon Studios for like, totally being awesome with us,
letting us come out there. Yeah,
and it's because we do lots of interviews and things like that. So they helped us out. That's awesome, and we got treated like real members of press.
Yeah, it's cool. I
So
hope we get
good
to
job,
do it again.
Brad.
Yeah,
I can't believe how fast that happened. I was like, oh wow, that's like in a week.
I know, and the plane ticket was not expensive. Like usually, the closer it is to when you have to fly, like they just destroy you.
That, and sometimes
financially.
they're trying to just fill the plane. So
yeah, but then I also got to do. I went to Grauman's, and I bought a ticket to Blade Runner 2049, thinking like, oh, cool, I'm gonna watch it in the Grauman's theater. But then I forgot they have like the 5 ancillary theaters, and like the main one's mostly for tourism, unless they're doing like the main movie like Coco at the time. And then I went to this pop-up Star Wars cantina, which is really cool.
Those
It's the
are
one where they
cool.
do
Yeah.
Fat Man on Batman. And then, like, while I was doing that, I didn't know, but Mystery Science Theater 3000 was having, like, Felicia Day and one of the robots. They were doing,
Hampton.
Yeah. They were doing an album signing at Amoeba Music, like, 2 blocks away.
Wow.
And so I arrived, like, an hour late.
Oh.
That would have been cool.
Felicia Day's really nice.
Yeah.
She
I even,
hugged
like,
me.
the first thing I did when I walked in the store was like, oh, cool, the album. I'll buy it when I get back to Denver. Yeah. What else did I do? Oh, I went to Musso and Frank's, the famous restaurant.
Yeah.
Ooh, someone's got money.
I mean, yeah, like the average price of anything was like $20.
Yeah.
But I ordered the fettuccine Alfredo. Probably the worst fettuccine Alfredo I've ever had.
Burn.
Sorry.
Nice. No,
that,
fuck
you
it.
bourgeois.
Yeah.
Frank-
In the menu, they say, like, I don't know, some famous actor and actress. I think maybe Errol Flynn or something.
I love
They're
Errol
like, it was their favorite dish. So I was like, oh, I should probably try that.
If Robin Hood approves.
Yeah, it was like,
And
yeah,
then he ate it, and he was like, "Fuck Robin Hood."
it was just noodles in like water. Like,
Bummer.
Yeah, like even I don't know, Noodles and Company will put like at least sprinkles of broccoli on it.
I'm fairly sure that their dedication to the culinary arts has decreased since, say, the 30s and 40s.
Yeah. Plus, I don't think they're like the smarter play is like a steak or like their main meals are
but I mean,
veal
you don't
and
know.
Yeah. So next time maybe I'll give them another shot. And,
Nice.
yeah, but yeah, it was cool. And then my plane was delayed. Like we had to switch planes twice in the airport, so I didn't get home till
At
4 a.m.
LAX?
Yeah.
Yeah, that place sucks.
So
every time I've flown out of there, I've got stuck. Or if I've flown out of Newark, stuck. I've never like flown out on time in any of those places.
Yep.
Oh, cool.
That's all cool.
I was curious.
Yeah.
I didn't hear from you.
Yeah, there wasn't much to talk about.
Cool.
Yeah.
We also watch movies throughout the week in a segment I call "What the fuck you been watching, Brad?"
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
Brad, what you been watching this
So
week?
aggressive. Actually, a couple things. So, Chappie. I had not seen that.
You've
until
never
now.
seen it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Neither
What'd you
have I,
think?
So.
I am surprised it was so maligned because I actually enjoyed it.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That movie's shit.
I was like,
I don't know. I haven't seen it either. So.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know where that comes from. Like, it's a pretty, like, it's not, the greatest movie, but I appreciate the story of like this artificial intelligence that actually, shoot, I forgot the little bit I was going to do for it.
Okay, rewind.
Yeah, rewind. Start over. So right off the bat, like, I will concede that was Neil Blomkamp like, I want to make like a reverse RoboCop movie where he starts out as a robot. Oh yeah, I was going to do this as Tommy Wiseau. So he started out movie as robot who become human, and then he, instead of working for police, he works for Bodeker's gang, and they fight the police. And yeah, and then after that, it's kind of crazy. Yeah.
Maybe vampire.
And maybe Chappie robot vampire. I don't know. Yeah, so no, I thought it was like the special effects are like incredible.
Oh yeah,
probably the most convincing like robot effects I've ever seen, like for CGI.
Yeah, too bad the human characters are shite in it.
Yeah, was it? Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Like, well, I guess the other bad part is that towards the end it becomes like a Die Antwoord commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And like the one that when the female like sacrifices herself to save Ninja.
That's his real name.
Well, I
or
think
that's
it's
his stage name.
Yeah, and the other one's Yolandi. And their third guy, like, he gets the worst like death for not being like a major character.
Yeah, I vaguely remember this movie. I just remember I wasn't down. Maybe is it streaming?
Yeah, it was on Netflix.
Okay,
That's
maybe
how I saw it.
Maybe I'll check it out now that's free.
But I was like, I thought the steelbook was cool, and I was like, oh well, everyone else said it was garbage, so I'm not gonna like press on it. But I enjoyed it. Like, yeah, I don't know how to explain it. Like in the vein of like WALL-E, where it's like a cute robot that's like trying to learn. I appreciate it. And, like, yeah, like the characters it hangs out with, they're stupid, but I don't know. It makes sense to me. Like, this is, in a way, he manages to change those characters a bit. Yeah. Anyway,
I'll have to watch it again.
Yeah, I don't know. It seemed pretty.
I know it's super violent.
Pretty solid. Yeah, like when that guy gets ripped apart by Hugh Jackman's robot.
Yeah,
I was
Hugh
like,
Jackman
oh my god,
is pretty good in that movie.
Goes from like 0 to He's a real like, especially his hair's super weird. He has that half mullet.
I forgot he was in that movie.
Yeah, but yeah, I guess like his whole plot thing is pretty shallow. But again, it's like him and I think Dev Patel. Like they're basically the two scientists from RoboCop that are like competing
right.
with the CP.
You're right.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like, how dare you one up my thing? And then
it just needs Red Foreman from that 70s show going, bitches leave.
Yeah.
Dumbass.
Guns. What a deal here. So yeah, I was surprised at that. And then I watched Tenacious D and the Pick of Destiny.
I saw that just a couple months ago. It's pretty ridiculous, but awesome.
Yeah,
is it on streaming or is it?
Yeah, all this stuff I'm talking about is on Netflix. So that's the only way I can watch things. Awesome. But yeah, it wasn't like the funniest thing I've ever seen, but I forget where I saw something that talked about. Oh yeah, on John of All Trades, John interviewed Kyle Gass.
Yeah,
and he kind of talked about the origin of Tenacious D, which I never like heard before. Is like their origins on HBO, and that's how they got the fan base, and how they without really being in the public eye, like they sell out concerts and stuff. Because I thought they were kind of like, they peaked with that first album and like faded away after the movie, but like they've always had like this huge fan base from the HBO series. And so a lot of what I heard in that interview manifested in that movie. So a lot of those gags are based on those albums.
I know.
And the songs.
I remember that Jack Black at one point is wearing a shirt that says the Rusty Trombone.
Yeah.
It's very funny. And I love how big of an asshole Kyle Gass is at the beginning.
Yeah. Making him do all this stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's just fun little gags. And then, but it's not like,
No,
it's
just,
like trying to be epic while not like
it's just
feeling epic.
Goofy movie.
Yeah. And like Tim Robbins is just like this giant weirdo. Yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
And then the last thing was I watched both Ace Ventura movies, which I hadn't seen in a long, long time.
The first one I still think's classic.
I watched the first one this week too.
Yeah. I mean, it clearly was better when I watched it in the 90s.
Sure.
Like, and this time I just sit there going like, Jim Carrey made a career off of this character, and like, there's some funny gags in there that like, I chuckled at, but overall I'm just like I just don't. I wonder what the appeal was. Like what.
Yeah.
Like what about it then doesn't translate right now?
You know, I only vaguely remember the second one. I remember his car rolling, and it's like a glove.
Yeah.
And then when he gets born out of the rhinoceros's ass, and when the slinky's going down the temple and he's skipping, I think it's pretty
Selfish
funny.
of me. Let's do all the things that you want to do.
Yeah.
That's all I remember from that movie.
He also we find out that he is afraid of one animal. It's bats.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Bat guano.
Yep. That's the whole thing. Is they're trying to get these two tribes to fight each other so that they can
The
take over their guano
Monopoly guy.
lands.
Remember Monopoly guy? Man, I should watch that.
Do not pass. Do not collect $200.
Yeah.
Hopefully the 10-year-old of me still thinks it's funny.
Oh god.
It's the ultimate mugging for the camera movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I still love in the first Ace Ventura when he's eating sunflower seeds and
Would you like an ashtray?
Would you like an ashtray?
No, I don't smoke.
I don't smoke. It's a disgusting habit.
Yeah. Yeah. And of course.
That maybe
Sounds broken.
That's
most
why-
likely. Bet it was something nice though. It's funny stuff. I always love lines like that. They're kind of throwaway stuff.
Or, that's why Roger Predaptor is dead. He found Captain Winky. You just see that montage of everybody just spinning.
Yep.
And Dan Marino being a horrible actor.
You're a weird guy, Ace. Weird guy.
I forgot he used to do those Isotope commercials though.
Isotoner.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Isotoner.
Yeah.
Isotopes is The Simpsons. But yeah.
But the first one definitely had the better mystery. Yeah, When Nature Calls is really kind of like
It
just a random
loses
gag
itself
fest.
pretty fast.
But it was directed by the Thumb guy. The guy who did
Steve
the
Oedekerk.
Kung Pao.
Yeah, Steve Oedekerk.
Yeah, where the
I'm
first
still
one
waiting
wasn't.
for Kung Pao End of the Fist Part 2.
I'm not sure it's going to happen.
I don't think it's going to. If I win Powerball, I'm giving you money to make a movie. I'm giving him money to make a
Oh,
movie.
shit.
And I'm taking $20 million to make a Friday the 13th. You want to direct it?
Hell yeah.
Sweet.
Especially
Got
the
my
Friday
director.
the 13th one.
Sweet. Director, Friday the 13th.
I mean, we tried to, and it didn't really work out.
Dude, if I walk into New Line, like, here's $20 million, I want to make Friday the 13th, and my guy is directing it, I don't think they're going to say no.
Like, do we have to match it?
No. I'm putting up the money for the movie. I like Tommy Wiseau.
You need to. More importantly, you should just buy the rights so that you can
I
do whatever you
should.
want to it.
Oh, that sounds way better. How
Like,
much do you
look-
think it costs to get Friday the 13th? Or Jason?
Well, how much?
Probably $100 million. Probably super expensive.
Like it. How much? Is the property really returning for Paramount right now?
Well, I'm guessing in the licensing they make tons of money.
Like T-shirts and
Yeah.
the video game
Because he's always in, like,
horror
action
stuff.
figures and stuff.
Yeah.
So licensing, I'm sure, is a lot. But what if I just said I want the rights to make the movies?
Yeah, because clearly they don't want to do anything.
Yeah,
with it.
I'm doing it. Win Powerball, Friday 13th, director.
Yeah, we'll take it back to its indie roots. And
Yeah. There's going to be teenagers getting slashed and diced.
yeah, I'm not gonna explore any stupid
Fuck no.
alternate backstories that you never
Nope.
heard of. Like,
Show up at summer camp, Jason's there killing you.
yeah, like Jason had a brother that we never knew about.
Yeah, fuck that. It's going to take place in the snow, and he's going to murder a bunch of adults at a ball where they're dancing, and there's also ice skating, so he can like use ice
Kill
skates.
people with ice skates.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See? I got it.
Icicles.
Dude, Friday the 13th on ice.
Nope.
No, just side. It's just after the success of what you guys are doing.
He actually uses a hockey
offshoot.
stick to kill someone for once.
Sweet.
Oh, the finale's like the championship hockey game between the two warring camps. Yeah, and then all of a sudden, like the captain like pulls back to do the slap shot, and all of a sudden, it cuts to the reverse angle, and his head just rolls into the goal, and then the rest of his body just slides and skates and falls over.
See, I think half of the battle is, so we have the setting, winter, because there's never been a Friday the 13th in the winter. And then you just write a bunch of kills and then write the story around it.
Yep.
Like
Justifiable
him
kills.
grabbing some dude's jaw and ripping his head off backwards. Sounds brutal. Dude, we're going to make this movie. New Line, if you're listening, all I want is executive producer credit, so I really don't have to do anything. I just came up with the idea, and then everybody else has to do all the work.
You gotta be in it and get killed in a cool way. How do you want to die?
Have him take a machete and slice me up from my dick all the way in half, and then peel me apart like towards the camera, so you just see like my guts pour out. Done.
After banging some hot chick, right?
Is there any other way?
I'm gonna go out like Kevin Bacon.
Totally.
Ryan Frost, he died as he lived, how he lived.
Do you think your wife would be cool with you having like a?
Why not? It's just acting.
Yeah, but I gotta put a cocksock on you, and you gotta like.
Yeah. My ass is gonna sell the movie.
Oh boy.
So that's all I've been watching.
All right, Zach.
Couple things. I rewatched 5 Came Back. Just been sticking with me this year, and I believe I texted you guys earlier, going like, would this qualify for Film Explosion? Because it's not technically a single film.
It's still
like
a film.
Yeah, it is split up by Netflix into its like 3-part structure. But it's still great. If you haven't checked it out,
was the America OJ movie?
No, but I didn't put that in my list.
I know, I'm just saying
so that's
qualifies.
fair. That's totally fair. But so yeah, if you haven't seen it, it's about the 5 directors who helped capture footage in World War II and document it. I don't know if you've seen it yet. You should still check it out. I think you'd like it a lot. Henry recommended a documentary that he saw a couple months ago that just came out on Netflix called Voyeur, which I checked out, and boy, it's an interesting watch. So it's about a guy who is a journalist who's very famous in the 70s and 80s, who got a letter to do a profile on this guy who ran a motel in Aurora, Colorado, which basically he was using the motel to fulfill his voyeuristic desires. So there was like an attic above each room, and there was a way via the vents to see inside the rooms. And so they do the piece and everything, and it turns into this book, and it's this examination about voyeuristic tendencies. But there's a point in the film where everything takes a twist due to journalistic integrity. And I don't want to spoil it, because I think you guys should watch it. It's a very quick watch. It's only an hour and 28 minutes. And it was interesting because it is a local story, how it kind of like seeing the photographs of the area, I'm like, I never knew about this place at all. Like, I know those streets and I know those surrounding buildings, but I never knew the motel was there or anything like that. And they show old surveying photos, but it's fascinating from the perspective of just how much you want to believe what you're telling someone is true, and how much you as a journalist want to believe. Like the reality line kind of blurs a little bit, but it's really great. It's fantastic. It's easily one of the best docs that has come out this year that isn't like a multi-series or anything like that. So I would definitely check it out. Rewatch Get Out, which I've been doing on and off throughout the entire year in various forms, and I still love the fuck out of that movie, and I think I love it even more so that Jordan Peele did a Reddit session where he read off the fan theories, and some of them are really like just people that are really stoned out of their minds. But there's other ones that there are things I didn't notice before, because I love that movie because I'm wrapped up in its the world it builds. It's not even like, I mean, the social commentary in it is amazing, but like as a horror fan, I'm like very vested in the world in kind of in the same way I am with Red State, where it's like, this is just so interesting. It's like it's horrifying, but it's like just so interesting. It's just like kudos for coming up with a unique idea of that nature. And obviously, like I love Rod the TSA agent. I still think he's one of my favorite characters of the year. So, I watched a little bit of Friends this week because I was bored.
Because you're bored, because you want to watch one of the greatest shows ever.
Well, I mean, like, I don't watch TV that often, like TV shows. Like, it just usually isn't my thing. But like, I needed comfort food, so I watched Friends, and So I started at the beginning, and it's still
Nice.
funny.
Oh, that's a great show.
I think that the pilot episode on Netflix is not the same as the one on the DVDs, though, because I remember the DVD one being much longer.
Well,
the one where they start the series.
Yeah.
Is that the title?
No, it's actually called The Pilot. It's the only one that's not called The One.
Yeah.
You're talking to like a Mega Friends fan here. So,
What?
yeah, the DVD actually had extended cuts of every episode. So that's probably what you're remembering. Because I got the Blu-rays and they went back to the aired versions, which I actually think when you watch both of them, the aired versions are a lot tighter. But then there's also some jokes that you miss because I've seen them so many times. I know when they've been cut.
Yeah, no, that's what I was noticing in the first episode.
I think the first episode, like stuff with Paul the wine guy, I think is a little more drawn out, and stuff with Ross and Rachel. There's a few more moments there.
Right. So
I know I love Chandler.
Yeah, I love it.
Miss Chandler Bong.
Relax. So does he have a hump and a hairpiece? I also watched the Netflix original Mudbound, which is about the story. It's just Jason Clarke in it, and it's directed by Dee Rees, who's another prominent female filmmaker who's come up to the forefront this year. It's about basically racial tensions during World War II, like basically people who are not out on the battlefield and what they're dealing with, and it specifically focuses on a white man's, like the family has owned the land for years, and then there's this black family that's worked on the land for years, and it's kind of like that debate, like that's just this. It's a.
They thought the color of their skin would tear them apart, but they found out that they were bound by mud.
No. Nope. Watch the movie. It's really good. The cinematography is great in it. I'm actually amazed that they shot it for the budget that they did. And I'd never heard of outside of Jason Clarke and there's one other person I'm really drawing a blank on, but I really liked it, and I like stories during World War II that deal with the home front because it's a subject that doesn't get covered often enough. But so it was fascinating to see them kind of cover that angle in a way that was entertaining. And then the last thing I saw this week was It Was 50 Years Ago Today, which is a documentary on Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Hearts Club Band album.
It's a great album.
And a great album. And this documentary is pretty good. I mean, like, I didn't know much about their manager, their road manager, and how that kind of played into a lot of why they broke up.
Yeah, he played against each of them.
Yeah.
So he was.
Well, he was hard addicted to drugs.
Yeah. Well, they all were. But.
Yeah, and also part of it was like this is an angle that I didn't even think about, is like because they stopped touring at some point.
Oh yeah, they only toured for I think 3 years.
Yeah, and then when they did, there wasn't much of a need for him.
No,
like necessary, because they didn't really interact.
He was more poisonous than Yoko Ono.
Yeah.
Where I think Yoko Ono is weird, but I mean she's obviously loved John and John loved her. So I mean it's. You really can't blame her. If people really know the story, it's definitely their manager, and they all had conflicting interests.
Yeah.
I mean, whether it's George Harrison wanting to go and meditate and John Lennon wanting to make a difference, Paul McCartney just wanted to make pop albums.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what happens. And then when he goes just there.
You just want to play drums.
Yeah.
Look, guys, I made a drawing. Look, guys, I wrote a song. You know what? I'm going to put it right here. Right on the refrigerator. That way we get to see it every day. Oh, right. Still one of my favorite Family Guy bits. Anyway, and I'm also continuing Godless, but I'm not finished with it yet, so I'm not going to talk about it until I'm done. But it's good. That's all I watched this week.
We're missing a nerd, but he sent in something. Henry sent in an art house asshole for The Shape of Water. Are we going to play it or are we going to wait?
We'll play it.
All right, cool. I didn't know because you didn't want to talk about Shape of Water. But
Henry
here's
gets
Henry's.
pass.
All right. Thanks, Henry. I will just say I saw that this week, and so did Zach. You should go see The Shape of Water.
Yes, you absolutely should.
We'll talk about it more.
Yeah, when everybody else sees it. I missed last week. I keep on getting stuck at work. I saw Lady Bird last week, and I actually really liked the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was really fun. The character of Lady Bird is really fascinating, and it's a really great exploration of sometimes someone who doesn't know where they belong. Her relationship with her mom, Laurie Metcalf, is great in this movie.
Oh yeah.
The first scene where she jumps out of the moving car is pretty great. It kind of gets you in the mood for the movie. Did you see it, Brad? You didn't have seen it.
I love that they're listening to that audiobook of The Grapes of Wrath.
Yeah, and they're crying. Steinbeck's a great writer.
Do we want to process what we just listen to.
Yeah, and it's really great. Again, my only, I guess, critique of it is I don't like how it ended. It felt like, when I say independent movie, that's how it feels like it ended to me. You know, but it's
probably like how I felt about Three Billboards ending.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, exactly. It kind of just let me like, guess I had to end it. But the characters are great. I actually like got a little welled up when she went back to her friend for or prom. I thought was really great. Mm-hmm. Her relationship with the sister there, I think, is amazing. So it's a really great movie. And of course, it always cracks me up as Henry. I like to think of him as like our pretentious guy. And of course, the one movie that's like universally praised is the one movie he's like, meh, like 2 out of 5 stars. I think he put on Letterboxd, and I was like, oh, he's gonna be that guy. I love Henry, but like, I'm not surprised he didn't like it.
I would give it a higher rating than that, but like I did maintain, like it would take something drastic for me to rewatch it again very soon, because like as I said before, I love that movie, but I was not a teenage girl, and I'm not an adult girl, and I don't have a kid, and I'm not a mother, so it's hitting on certain beats that I don't understand, and I don't feel isolated, but I just like
sure.
You know, like
I thought it was a great movie, but I don't think I need to watch it again.
Exactly. Like, whereas there's like, for my taste, there are plenty of father-son movies that cover that angle for me just fine. But I will say that movie is so fucking funny.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say never. I think maybe if it's a Blu-ray for $5, I'll probably get it.
Oh, I plan on buying it just because Laurie Metcalf alone.
Oh yeah, she's great in that.
I still love the moment where like she says like, "Do you like me? I love you, honey, but do you like me?" And I'm like, "Fuck!" Like that. That's
or the scene where she's yelling at her mom just to talk to her because her mom feels betrayed. I mean, it's great stuff.
Yep. And Lucas Hedges outside the coffee shop.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I watched Bowfinger. I've never seen it. It's all right. I don't know if I should include it in my Robert Downey Jr. movie collection because he's in it and he's pretty funny in it. But he's in, I think, 3 scenes.
Did you?
Is that considered a cameo, or would you consider it like
maybe an extended cameo?
Is he himself or a character?
No, he's a character. So he plays like a really hotshot producer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think he's in it.
See, because his first scene's great with Steve Martin.
So this is the completion of a long gestating list.
Well, see, I didn't know because I knew he was in it. Well, there's some movies that are really hard to get of his.
Was it 98?
98, yeah. So he was like in his drug fueled like high thing.
Yeah, it might have been a job. So
because he's good in it. So Steve Martin plays this like shady movie producer,
more like loser producer.
Yeah, and he's trying to get Eddie Murphy's what's his character's name?
Oh, it's been a while.
It's actually a pretty funny character name. Anyways, Eddie Murphy plays like a really arrogant guy who goes to Mind Wipe, which is basically Scientology. So there's some really funny stuff in it. I actually like Heather Graham's character where she sleeps with everybody. She thinks she can get ahead. So she starts with her co-star, then she goes to the writer, then she goes to Bowfinger, and then she goes to Eddie Murphy's brother, who they don't know is Eddie Murphy's brother in it, who's also Eddie Murphy. It's really confusing, but it's fun. You can tell it's written by Steve Martin because it's like a funny movie, but not a laugh out loud funny movie. Mm-hmm. It's clever.
It's directed by Frank Oz.
Yeah, Frank Oz is the director.
Who's among those directors that I love. I love fucking like Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's a great director. Doesn't get a lot of props.
The original Death at a Funeral is great.
I like the score.
Yeah. So yeah. See, I don't know if I should. I guess I should. I guess technically Robert Downey Jr. is in it.
I mean, he's a character in it. And he doesn't. It's more than one scene.
Yeah, because he does the one scene in the restaurant, which is really funny, and then he does a scene where he's driving a car and he's talking about how his wife wanted the car, but he gave her the kids instead. That's pretty funny. And then he's added at the end when the movie's made. Mm-hmm. So I guess he's in it enough. Yeah. I guess that's considered a Robert Downey Jr. movie.
It seems like more than a cameo.
Yeah, so it's probably right in the middle of his movies, his filmography. Scream Factory released Misery, which I forgot is actually a really great movie because you just have James Caan and Kathy Bates really the only ones in it.
You never look at a hammer the same way again.
Yeah, I forget
a sledgehammer.
I forget the sheriff's name. I think he's really great in it.
Oh fuck! I was listening to an interview with this,
and he's really great. The movie's really well done. I mean, obviously you have William Goldman who wrote the script, and so when you have someone adapt Stephen King stuff and as a caliber of William Goldman, it's going to turn out well. And Rob Reiner is a great director. And it's interesting because, he has a great, like a 25-minute interview on the Scream Factory Blu-ray, and he talks about how he never made a movie like that. And he never thought of himself as a director, he saw himself as a producer. So he went to Stephen King, paid $1 for the rights, and Stephen King's like, yeah, for $1 because you did Stand By Me, and I love that movie. So he started developing, and he's like, you know what? I have a vision for this movie, and I'm going to make it. And so it's kind of cool to hear him talk about it. And I really like Rob Reiner, and I think he's really intelligent, and I think he talks about movies in a really fun way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, pick it up. They have also an interview with the special effects guys.
I definitely. I was talking to you earlier about Scream Factory, but I need to pick up a couple titles when I'm like lazing around because it was like Return of the Living Dead, definitely.
Oh yeah, I would. So speaking of Scream Factory, they released Silent Night, Deadly Night, which is a Santa Claus killer movie,
which we were probably going to talk about next week because I have that on my queue to watch.
Yeah, so I gave you the Anchor Bay, I think, version of it,
which I'm hesitant because the last time I saw Silent Night, Deadly Night was just on a DVD, and it was the first time I ever saw it, so I don't know any better. But I've heard that this version you gave me is not like well reviewed.
It's because the
doesn't matter to me. Like
the video quality is really bad.
Oh,
and when you read Scream Factory released, it had a little disclaimer before the unrated cut. Is the unrated cut doesn't exist in Film Elements anymore. So when you watch it, it reverts to like standard def that they try to color match, which isn't that distracting because it's only like 2 minutes, and the movie's really hokey and silly, but if you like a slasher movie and has like tons of gratuitous nudity,
and it pissed off Roger Ebert and moms
all over exactly
America.
So that's worth it. So the Scream Factory release is really great though. You get the theatrical and the unrated. There's a bunch of new interviews, and then they have commentaries and things like that.
Theatrical is from the Film Elements, right?
Yeah, so theatrical looks great.
And they did a 4K scan on
it?
Yeah. Okay, cool.
A new 4K, so it looks great.
Nice.
Even the unrated without the missing elements, so not all the unrated stuff is missing, but some of it is. It looks really great until it gets to the standard stuff, and then it's like, whatever.
Yeah.
And actually a movie that shocked me and I heard good things about, it's called Better Watch Out.
Oh, so did you get Shudder to do this?
No, I got it. It was on Blu-ray.
Oh, okay.
For like $10.99.
It's a Shudder exclusive on streaming right now.
Oh, is it? So I don't want to say a lot about this movie because I didn't see the trailer. I don't know if the trailer spoils the movie, but it's a home invasion movie that is way different than you expect, and the little boy in it who's the lead is really great. I'll just leave it at that. It's a home invasion movie. Doesn't go the way you think it is, and it's one of my favorite movies of the year because it's funny and then it gets really dark.
Is it a movie from this year?
I think it was made in 2016, but it just came out on Blu-ray. So and it's just available to stream. So I think it's one of those festival ones that didn't get released.
Would you include it on your Filmsplosion then?
I don't know yet. We'll see. There's so many movies I like that this could make it. We'll see. Because I also toying with The Black Coat's Daughter, which is technically made in 2015. Didn't get shown at 2016 Fantastic Fest, I think. And then it didn't get released on Blu-ray until like June. So
that's why I make my list of stuff I watched in this year.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying. Yeah. So if I cannot watch it until this year, then I usually include it.
Yeah.
So I'm going to rewatch it again.
Sorry, I had to this year. This week I finally saw fucking Rio Bravo.
Yeah.
Well,
it was made in 1950, but I saw it for the first time this year.
No. So it's really great. If you want to see a different horror film, and it's not going to be your typical horror film, you should definitely watch it. It's actually pretty shocking, and kind of sad. It's pretty great. I think you should check it out.
I'll have to watch it this week then. Thank God I got Shudder.
Yeah, check it. I think you'd like it. You should watch it.
Yeah.
I also got the canon classic Death Wish 2, which is really...
Do you believe in Jesus?
You're going to meet him. And it's everything a canon movie is, where it's like the violence is so over the top. There's like tons of nudity. I mean, just to prove a point. So if you've seen Death Wish 1, his wife is murdered. Then this architect...
And his daughter is raped.
Yeah, and this architect goes on a rampage and kills all the people responsible. Well, he shows up in San Francisco, L.A., San Francisco, whatever, someplace in California, and now a vigilante's out again because they killed his housekeeper after they rape her.
And his daughter...
So his daughter gets raped well, she gets taken to like the bad guy's lair with Lawrence Fishburne, and she gets taken to the lair, and then she like runs away, and then she runs out the window and falls onto like wrought iron spikes and dies.
Yep.
And I was like, oh shit,
because that's what this movie was.
Yep. And it's just basically all that, and just people dying in horrible ways.
Golan and Globus.
Is the Bruce Willis Death Wish still coming out?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Eli Roth?
it got delayed.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
I also watched a Criterion Rebecca, which the transfer alone makes it worth buying. It's Alfred Hitchcock's Rebecca. If you don't know Rebecca, it's a story. It's kind of interesting. It starts off as Laurence Olivier and Joan Fontaine. Joan Fontaine. She's beautiful, by the way.
Yeah, she is.
They kind of like become lovers.
Careful. Don't
dead,
become
bro.
part of the list.
In Monte Carlo, and they kind of develop a relationship. He marries her, and she goes to live with him at Mandalay, which is his estate in England, and she's haunted by his previous wife who died a year before in a drowning accident, and everyone basically reminds her that she's never going to be up to Rebecca. Rebecca's the name of his dead wife. And it's a really great movie, and it's so cool because it's a character, Rebecca, that's never in the movie, but her presence is felt throughout the whole film. And the Danny, the little I guess help servant lady, she's pretty evil in it, and it's shot wonderfully. Of course, it's Hitchcock. Only movie ever won an Academy Award for. And
he didn't even win the award itself.
And speaking of which, so the Criterion is 2 discs, and the second disc has 3 radio plays of Rebecca, and then there's a documentary about him and Selznick fighting and how they hate each other, and it's pretty great. So
you watched the whole thing?
Oh yeah, I watched the whole.
For the listeners
Blu-ray.
who don't know, so Selznick brought Hitchcock to America. With the promise of this big ass free reign deal. Mm-hmm. Well, they didn't get along, but nobody got along with Selznick because he was an asshole.
He was,
but he's a good producer, but he was an asshole.
He was. It's just really fascinating because it's basically 2 huge egos fighting.
Yeah,
and it's kind of funny because they had a Selznick biographer. They had Hitchcock's granddaughter and a biographer for him, and they're saying, "Oh yeah, they hated each other, but they were able to work through it." And basically, you learned that Hitchcock fought through it as like an act of defiance, basically saying, "I'm going to make this movie. I don't care what you do." And he edited it, and Hitchcock wasn't thrilled with some of the edits, but the movie's great. Definitely check it out, and get the Criterion because the transfer is stunning.
I have a feeling I'm spending a lot more money than I want to at the end of the year.
If you wait, I think the Barnes & Noble half off happens again in a few months.
Okay,
and then you can get it for I think $16.
That
and it's definitely worth that.
Yeah,
because that's the only time I get Criterion.
It's weird because I love Rebecca and I've seen it so many times, but I don't own it and I should own it.
Yeah,
so.
Like I said, I only get Criterions when they're on sale because they're $40, $50 movies.
I already pre-ordered Night of the Living Dead.
Well, yeah, that one is different.
That
one dropped to $18 on Amazon. I'm guessing because so many people ordered it.
Yeah, so I'm thankful for that. But
so that's what I watched this week.
Do watch Rebecca.
Yeah.
To your point of Robert Downey Jr. being in, I just remembered that in The Pick of Destiny, Amy Adams is in the bar that they first play at, but it's one take, one shot on her. But I'd still say that because it's not focused on hey, that's Amy Adams because it's 2007. But I would still say she's in that movie.
Okay, yeah. So I did put it in my Robert Downey Jr. lineup. Because I was thinking he's in it enough, but is it enough? I think because he has more than one scene, I think it considers. I guess I could look on Box Office Mojo if they consider it a cameo.
I mean, shit for Van Damme, he's in No Retreat Just Surrender twice.
That's true,
but the movie's not about him at all.
And
but
I
it's
guess
still a Van Damme movie.
The new Kickboxer movie, he's barely in it, and
he does have a major character. He trains the guy. So
yeah. Okay. This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw The Disaster Artist. Zach, should people go see a real Hollywood movie?
Please go see a big Hollywood movie. I love the fuck out of the film. I think you should definitely go see it. I think Franco's definitely this is the best thing I've seen him do in a long time, and I really liked it. So,
nice. Brad?
Yeah, I think it's I was impressed how much of a great movie it is about like making movies and friendship on how to make movies as friends. So like I never read the book, but if the book's like this movie, then.
But you had seen The Room too, so that gave some sort of context.
So this is interesting. You and I have seen the original movie, so I'm interested to see, Ryan, what do you think, having not known the source material?
I love this movie. And I don't think you actually have to see The Room to watch the movie.
Okay.
Because there's so much backstory before
so
you
you're not going to watch the original?
No, I'll still see it, because now I'm interested. So I also say, too, stay till the end of the credits, because it's maybe the greatest tag scene ever. But they also, before that part, they run the scenes concurrently, so it's like, you know, you see
side by side.
Yeah, you see The Room and you see the Disaster Artist, and it's pretty funny watching them. And so I think there's enough there where you don't have to know The Room; you just have to be familiar with what they're trying to do.
I think at the very least you have to know that like it's this bad movie that they made like 10 years ago.
That's what I mean. It has to, you have to know it's a bad movie. You have to know that Tommy Wiseau is really weird.
But they do a lot of that within the.
They set it up. Here's the trailer for The Disaster Artist.
Los Angeles, everybody wants to be star. You have to be the best and never give up.
When I get up on stage in front of people, all I can think about is, what if they laugh at me? You, man, you're fearless. I want to feel that too.
I don't care. I'll do it. You and me, we both have this dream.
Yeah, I guess we do.
That we'll be famous. We'll show them. Watch out, here we go. To be or not to be?
It's not going to happen for you. Not in a million years.
What after that? This town, Greg. They don't want me.
Wish we could just make our own movie.
That's a great idea. So there's this guy, Johnny, a true American hero, to be played by me. He has it all. Good luck, many friends, and also maybe Johnny is vampire. We'll see.
This set of the alleyway looks exactly like the real alleyway.
That's right.
Well, why don't we just shoot in the real alleyway?
Because it's a real Hollywood movie.
No, yeah, sounds good.
Okay, action. I did not hit her. I did not. Oh, hi, Mark.
But it doesn't work if you're looking at the camera.
And then this beautiful girl. Anything for my princess. He betrayed him. And then this guy, Johnny. He go crazy. Nobody respect my vision. You are a villain. I do this whole movie for you, Greg. You are tearing me apart, Lisa.
Cut.
Why you cut, Sandy? This is great. This is real acting.
If you're gonna writhe around with the dress, maybe do it before you shoot yourself in the head and blow your brains out.
I disagree.
You really gonna make this thing?
We are going to go together.
Tommy, this is not necessary.
No, very necessary. I need to show my ass to sell this movie.
I think you're aiming a little bit.
I aim where I aim. Just do the scene.
Why is he having sex with her belly button? He knows where her vagina is, right?
Hi, doggy.
My name's Tommy Wiseau with a capital. Go away.
So the end, like the end credit scene, I could not stop. I was laughing. I was the only one who stayed in my theater. Everyone else left, and I always just stay there because you never know. And two, sometimes I like to see, oh, that dude's did this thing. I remember him from such and such, like, you know, James Franco's makeup guy. Anyways, you know, when so the scene, spoilers, 1, 2, 3, is James Franco as Tommy Wiseau talking to Tommy Wiseau as some other like party goer.
Yeah.
And he's like, go away from me. Your hair, you have long hair. It's like the weirdest, most bizarre scene that I've ever seen in a movie, but brilliant. And, anyways, back to the movie. It's a tribute to this movie is when Franco shows up for the first time, my whole theater was laughing just how he talked. You know, and then people started settling in and seeing what the movie is about, and that kind of went away. Mm-hmm. Once you get past, you know, how weird Tommy Wiseau is.
It's not about the reaction to his voice anymore. Now it's about what is he saying with that voice.
Exactly. And it's, you know, there's the funny little moments without it, like the mystery of how old he is, where he gets his money, and things like that, and his belts. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, he even says to the costume lady, he's like, no, all these belts show off my butt. You know, make my butt look good. and it doesn't make any sense, and you don't know if he's an asshole or not, or he's just really creative and doesn't know how to express himself in the right way. Because even in his first improv scene where he's like, Stella, and he's like crawling up
the rafters
and I read an interview with Greg Sestero,
yeah.
and he said he really does that stuff, but but they also have like really tender moments in it where you can tell that he's lonely.
Mm-hmm.
Because when Greg first asked him to be in a scene with him, he's like, "You want to be in a scene with me?" Mm-hmm. And they'd go to the diner, and he makes him act, and he gets him kind of out of his shell. And you're like, "Oh, he actually did impart some wisdom on this guy."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Having read the book and participated 18 times in watching The Room at a theater with an audience.
Have you really seen it 18 times?
Yeah. I actually recounted because I never went without a friend.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how many like people I knew in film school where I was like, we gotta go to The Room, man. Like, it's Saturday and I'm bored. But having read the book though specifically is that like what I was amazed by is like the book in my mind when I read it and listened to the audiobook, which you should to hear Greg Sestero do the Tommy voice, is that it felt darker in the book to me, and I think it's because there's a lot of stuff in that book that's not in the movie, which is fine. That always happens. What I like about this film is that it took the Ed Wood approach to the film, and the screenwriters did an interview where they were very honest about like we wanted to make this a film about friendship first and foremost, because that's what this is. Like, for better or for worse, this is a friendship that has lasted beyond the production of this film, to balance the fucked upness of the situation with like how much these two guys like do care about each other ultimately, like as friends, and wanting to see each other push each other towards their dreams, I think is a good balancing act. And I think James Franco does a really good job at handling both emotions. Like, this movie's laugh out loud funny, but there are moments that like are just powerful acting. Like the scene where they're out filming in San Francisco with the football tossing, and Dave Franco just unloads on him. Like, I thought it was great. Like, I thought it was that moment of catharsis we all needed by a certain point in the film.
See, I think too you develop a sympathy for Tommy when he goes to all these auditions and he's like, I'm not villain, I'm hero, and it really affects him, and he thinks about giving up, and Gray kind of talks him off the proverbial ledge when he's on the roof. He says, no, and then it spawns the idea, like, what, I will make a movie, and I'll do it my way. And there's something to be said for that. No matter what, good, bad, and different, whatever you think about The Room, for him to have the balls, like, I'm going to write this thing, and I'm going to make it how I want to make it.
Right.
I think there's something to it. And you can say he's weird or whatever you want, but, I mean, there's a tinge of success there where I think is pretty great.
And what's interesting is because we don't really know much about Tommy and his background, that extra kick of mystique adds to his character and therefore his choices. Like, one of my favorite scenes in the film is actually where the woman who's playing Jackie Weaver plays the woman who's playing Lisa's mom in The Room, and she faints because it's too damn hot in that studio and they need water, and Tommy's not bringing them water because he's like running his costs to the bone, which is a part of the book, was that he was running like everything like by a certain point the money was like kind of tight. And like Paul Scheer, who's in the movie as the DP, like flat out like loses it on Tommy, and Tommy loses it back on him. And Seth Rogen, who plays Sandy Sklar, kind of like pulled them back. Like they're all heated, and Tommy kind of unloads this thing about like, I've been watching the behind the scenes footage. I know what y'all think of me, and like so you don't like anytime he isolates you, he pulls you back in pretty quickly, which I think is interesting to note because it's easy to kind of like dismiss him as an asshole after seeing an old woman faint. But then you have that great scene right after it where she's fine, she's calmed down, and she explains to Greg like, this is why we do what we do. We get up at the butt crack of dawn to go out and do this because we do something that no one else does.
Yeah. Right.
The movie was good. No, like I said, like you're saying, it would have been really easy to just make this movie like, hey, look at this clown. He's ridiculous, isn't he? Let's just make fun of this guy. And like by the end, when you're watching him break down because everyone's laughing at his movie, he doesn't understand why. Like they humanized this guy, and then what was I gonna say? Yeah, just I love the theme of the movie didn't achieve the dream that he expected, but like success is like defined in many different ways. So, it's not like a Christopher Nolan level movie, but like it's affected people.
So did that really happen at the premiere where people laughed at it and he went in there and was like, I like my comedy movie?
That's what I heard.
Kind of. Like it's an amalgamation of the many screenings before, because like basically like they do the premiere, and then it runs for 2 weeks in order to qualify for the Academy Awards, as it says in the post-credit thing. And then Tommy pushed them to do midnight screenings beyond that. And that's where college kids discovered it. And there's a guy named Patient Zero that you should read about on the Slash Film article, who then brings in 2 friends and they bring 2 more and whatnot. And that's kind of how it develops. But I don't remember if he specifically got up in front of the audience and said, thank you for watching my comedy. Because the way I remember it, Sestero says like he now says that.
Yeah.
But like
in the podcast I listened to, they said, the first couple screenings, like he would leave and go to the lobby and then kind of turn around when, like the fans would approach him, or like people would say like he turned into like the movie star when people would talk about it. But as far as watching it, like he like even to this day, I think they said he still has trouble like reconciling that people think it's funny,
right?
But he just puts up with it because like when they start like engaging him, then he feels like a movie star,
right?
Regardless of their opinion. So another thing is his apartment, like Ojai is a city in California, and the catchphrase is Ojai. Like, is that like made up for the movie, or is that a coincidence?
I'm gonna have to watch it again. I don't,
because the apartment has that huge Ojai sign above where he's living.
Yeah, I know. It could just be like clever production design. What I found interesting is that the Gene company that he was part of at some point prior to meeting Greg, there's a big oval sign, like an outdoor sign for it in his apartment. Like there's a lot of hints as to like the different things Tommy might have done for money.
I heard it was I was doing some research on him. They think it might be real estate. Like he was some real estate guy, or
there's rumors of real estate. There's rumors of yo-yo salesmanship in the 70s. There's rumors of Gene sales. There's one that he had an ESL teacher who like bestowed a bunch of money upon him or something like that. And like it's really irrelevant. Like and now granted, there's a documentary that has been kind of the source of litigation with Wiseau Films for a while called Roomful of Spoons, where I guess they did find out where the heck he's from. Which I mean, I'm
sure if someone really wanted to try, they could probably figure it out.
Yeah, I think according to that documentary, he's from Poland or something like that, which wouldn't really surprise me, I guess. But like, I really think that even if I have that fact, I'm able to kind of misplace it conveniently, because again, I said it at the top of it. Franco does some great work here, not just as a actor but as a director too. I remember reading.
I love all like the celebrity cameos in it that you don't know, just playing random people.
Efron playing Chris R was so fucking funny. Him just beating the fuck out of Josh Hutcherson. Oh god, and Mantzoukas.
Yeah, how old are you? I'm his age. You're 19. She's crazy.
Don't touch RoboCrab.
Also, it was like, because you hang out with kids. Yeah. What did he say before that?
What did he say? It's pretty funny. Oh, something about,
are these kids your friends?
Yeah, these kids. And then he writes that he has like kid friends and play football.
Yeah.
It's just like really funny.
The Apatow cameo was both funny and heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Like that was like a gut wrencher. And
that's up to Apatow for playing that part.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, thanks for helping me out. Yeah, 25 minutes into Shakespeare. Yeah. 2 acts of
That
Shakespeare.
that opening, I wasn't expecting the opening though, but I'm glad that I got the explanation for it via the How Did This Get Made podcast recently. But like interviewing the ground zero celebrities, who are basically your trust me, this is a good, stick with this.
Mm-hmm.
So you start with Kristen Bell and whatnot. And I'd completely forgotten Kevin Smith talked about this at the beginning of Smodcast. Like as early as 2007, he and Brian Johnson were sitting down and talking about The Room on Smodcast. And I think that's where I heard about it for the first time. I didn't watch it until like 3 years later, but so like it was interesting seeing that, and then the J.J. Abrams popping up was just like icing on the cake. I love it. I love that the way Ed Wood tackled Ed Wood, that the disaster artist gives Tommy this kind of like this salute that I think is earned and justified. Yeah, and it's great. I love it.
Yeah, it's a fun movie.
This is my bathroom. My bathroom that I made for myself. You know, there's bathrooms in the studio, right? I love. It's a small scene, and I love how Seth Rogen plays this, but where he goes to the bank to cash the check, and he's just like, "This thing's deep. This is a never-ending hole."
No shit.
It's not even a laugh out loud scene. It's just like it's just there.
It's fun because it just creates the more mystery about Tommy.
Yeah, but like, and Rogen's just doing a good. Rogen's really good in the film. Like, he is kind of our Cypher in a weird way for those who don't know what the Room is.
Like, are you? Yeah, he's basically the guy who's like, are you watching this? Like, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Also, do you want to shoot in film or HD? I want to shoot both.
Real human emotion.
Tommy's innovative.
Action.
Yeah,
you need to say it louder. You can obviously hear him.
Yeah, I didn't know they shot both, and that explains why like some of the shots are out of focus.
Yeah. And the beard scene was great, and like where he's talking about
one like negative against the movie, Franco's beard for like a lot of the scenes.
Dave Franco's?
Yeah.
Oh.
Pretty fake. Look like a corked beard. I don't know if that's on purpose or like because I feel like they would have the budget for a good one, but
I didn't really pay attention to it. So
no, it's always looked like a costume beard to me.
Yeah, there's some parts where it's like,
yeah,
oh well.
Unless he's just such a baby face.
Baby face. Next week on Real Nerds Podcast, we're seeing. What are we seeing?
Some movie I've never heard of.
I guess we'll see it. Something about like religion and people fighting.
Yeah.
No, we'll see. No, obviously we're seeing Star Wars: The Last Jedi. The new like TV spot. I only caught a glimpse of it because
Don't you dare!
I
kill you.
I was watching. So on Sundays I try to go. There's this restaurant in Idaho Springs that no one goes to, like at 11, and I try to sit down and watch like 20 minutes of football and order lunch. And of course today I got called out, but there's like this thing. It's like, don't listen to spoilers, and it's like Return of the Last Jedi thing, and then it's like Kylo reaching out his hand, and then they cut to Rey and she's reaching out her hand too. I'm like, it's obviously like trying to fuck with you, but I can see that happening.
There's an article where he says it's manipulating, but it's not misleading.
Yep. So we'll see, because there's also a shot of her taking his lightsaber.
Yeah, I shouldn't have taken a look at that picture. Now,
so we'll see.
Thank
but
God.
I remember with Force Awakens, they had a bunch of shots that were in the trailer that weren't even in the movie.
That's true.
Yeah.
And thank God I'm just going to fill my head this week with slasher films that I have upstairs.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm not doing anything Star Wars.
I know the internet is very dangerous. I think Tuesday at midnight is when the embargo lifts.
Ooh.
So so the internet will be very dangerous.
What if it's 101% on Rotten Tomatoes?
Some films get that
It's so
way.
good they had to like somehow break the 100% barrier.
I'm just excited. I can feel it. I can feel it in movie theaters. Like I can feel the excitement building for this.
Can you feel it coming in the air tonight?
Oh Lord, I can't.
Phil Collins has nothing to do with Star Wars.
So yeah, until next week. Bye.
Bye.
May the Force be with you.
Always.
Oh, bye, podcast.
Oh, bye. Real Nerds is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. We would also like to thank Sparks Mandrill for our music. Additional music from Ben Sounds. Thank you to Alamo Drafthouse. Thank you to Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics. And thank you for listening to the Real Nerds Podcast.